here with this deck profile on Zenith. So I'm just gonna kind of go over everything, things you can run, based or that I'm not running, but different choices you can make. So I went with Spring Breeze. My other two choices were Kron with the grade 3 Searcher, or what's her name? Cheer Up Trumpeter. Cheer Up Trumpeter because she's kind of blast free, and she's a 5k that you can just keep on the field and then throw her in the soul whenever you want. You know, make a spot. Kron, I decided not to go with because I'm running a grade 2 that kind of invalidates Kron. And I went with Spring Breeze because certain grade 1s I want, and he always replaces himself no matter what. So, yep. Triggers, pretty obvious, you know, 8 crit. And because, you know, stands in this deck are weird. I mean, they kind of work, but if you don't hit them, then you just kind of committed to something that didn't really work out. So, yeah. And then 4 heal, because, you know, we're good at this game. And 4 draw, because Liberators don't have a lot of triggers right now. So, they've got like 6 stands, but that's it for everything else. Alright, good ones. I am only running 2 Marin, mostly because there's not 2 else I would run. You can run Qoheleth, the 6k Persona booster for Gancelot, but I chose not to run him because due to Zenith's effect, I don't really want to call grade 3s to the field. I'd rather keep grade 2s, grade 1s in the front row, blah, 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 all that stuff. So, and I don't have a way to get them into the drop zone other than perfect shielding with them or all this other stuff. Or yeah, because I don't run Q walls, so I have really no other way to get them back in. And if your opponent's smart, they're not going to attack with them. So, I mean, yes, you could say, you know, keep them in the front row, send back something in the back row, hope for a booster, you know, swing boost for, you know, 17k, whatever. But I just realized that didn't make any sense. Never mind. Anyway, I run these over Qoheleth, because if you hit them with Zenith, they swing for 20, which isn't terrible. So, yeah. Next, I run for Josephus. Josephus is good. If you hit him with Zenith, great. If you hit him with Spring Breeze, awesome. If you hit him with a couple other cards, it's pretty sweet. It's a free +1. Nothing bad there. Next, I run for Bruno because he's actually pretty ski. I honestly wouldn't replace Bruno for anything. He's pretty stable at 4 with Zenith. Because when you call with Zenith, he's an instant 10k booster. So if you got one behind the Vanguard, your Vanguard is now swinging for 21 or 23k, depending if you're cross-ridden. Or if you got one behind a Fallon or another grade 1, instant 21k row. So yeah, Bruno, really good. And he's, you know, you can stack his ability with him, so if you get multiple calls in a turn, he's a bigger booster. And then obviously for perfects, I debated running a Q wall, but in the end, there is actually a lot of counter blasting in this deck, and I didn't want to not be able to Q wall because I Zenith too much, or vice versa. I can't Zenith because I Q walled. So, yeah, that's why I just went with 4 perfects. Grade 2s. This guy is also pretty stable, you know, in multiple decks for multiple reasons. Cause he's a 12k attacker, and like I said with Bruno, he's a 22k row. Hits most Vanguards, well, hits all Vanguards for a good number. Hits 15k or 11k Vanguards for 15k shield. So yeah, well, applies pressure. Plus, when you call him off Zenith, he swings for 22 by himself. So all around good. Next, Eskrad. Eskrad is chosen because he's early pressure. And he allows you to fill your field for minimal cost. He allows you to get Josephus off, all this other stuff. He's basically free. Early game pressure, and he's free. That's really good. Other than that, yeah, I mean, there's really not much else I would run for grade 2. Here, let me finish up with what I am running, and then I'll go over the choices. 3 Renette. Kind of +1 when you hit a Vanguard. Look at the top 5 for a grade 3, put it into your hand. So yeah, that's more pressure, and it allows you to not get grade stuck, and allows you to ride what you actually want to ride. So, you know, other grade 2s you could run is the hell's his name? Garrett? Garrett's his name. He's kind of like Bruno. He's a Bruno clone. Whenever you call something, give something, he gets plus 3k. So he becomes a Fallon for a turn whenever you Zenith, which is not bad. I debated using him, but he's a little too vanilla for my liking. There's also Dorgle. Dorgle's really good. Kind of +1. Whenever you hit with a Liberator, he gets 5k. So if you call him, next thing you know, you got a 24k row unboosted. So he's really not that bad. But, and then, you know, you still got Blastblade Liberator and Gancelot if you really want to run those. But Blastblade Liberator is really expensive for his skill. So honestly, until he gets support, I don't think he's worth running. And Gancelot's 10k vanilla. And this deck already runs pretty vanilla after a while. So I'd rather not run him. So for grade 3s, I've seen a lot of people do this, but a lot of people, when they see it, think it's pretty unconventional. So I'll just go over it. 3 Gancelot, because he's a break ride, because he's what's required to get a 13k base. Otherwise, I really don't like break rides and golds. I just don't. I really don't. They're too slow. Most of the bosses for golds are an advantage engine, like Alfred, like Garmor even. Garmor I would say is an advantage engine, even though his advantage isn't until limit break. So, you know, it's a little weird. But I just don't think break rides are necessary in golds, but a lot of people will probably call me wrong on that. And then 3 Zenith. He's pretty good. Kind of bless a Liberator. Choose a grade 2 or less. Rear guards. Put it to the bottom of your deck. Call it top card of your deck to an open circle. Right? Yeah. Almost have to be. And it gets plus 10k. So he applies pressure. You know, you swing with something either unboosted or boosted. It doesn't matter. Then he swings. Kind of plus 1. Replace it. Next thing you know, you got a pretty big column. You know, he swings for numbers. If you do it for the turn after you break ride, you know, your board already got plus 25k. He's swinging, you know, now it's got an extra 10k on top of it. He hits for numbers if you applied the pressure early and they're at high damage. Otherwise, you're just playing the attrition game. You're trying to burn out their guard before they take out yours. That's really all it is. Which is really the way Vanguard works. But yeah, he helps hit. He helps bad calls hit good numbers. There you go. That's what I've been trying to say. So if you hit a draw trigger, it still swings for 15k. They need 5 for it, and plus it was free. And then next turn you send the trigger back to the bottom, replace it. All good things. And then 2 Alfred. 2 Alfred is there because 1, it's not bad riding into an early. It's definitely not bad riding into a late. If you're all counterblasted out, he swings for 21 with a full field unboosted. So 21 plus is usually the way he goes. And if you for some reason have to ride him early, you can still counterblast 2, get a +1. So, but I really don't worry about having to ride him early if I really don't want to because of Renette. And if I wasn't running Renette, let's say I was running Garrett, I would probably use my starter Kron just to try to make sure, you know, at least start off with one of these. But yeah, that's really the way the deck goes. You know, it's golds. It's pretty self-explanatory. Play what you want to play, but this is what I decided to go with. And yeah, hopefully you guys give it a shot, and we'll talk to you later.